Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Unscripted with Champagne DeVoe, aka Lulu. I am so excited, and before I even get started, I am so sorry because I know I did the original drop in September. It's just October was when I tell you hectic, I had never been so busy like ever with makeup, and I have other things happening that I can't talk about yet that I'm so excited about. So I just wanted to thank you all for, I just redropped episode 1 and 2 for season 3, and the reception has been better, which was mind blowing actually. Because which is nobody's problem. I just realized that I like went blank on social media. I was so busy. But anyway, I am so happy to be back, and I have such a good episode for you guys that you're gonna love it. Like you're truly going to love it. And nobody better judge me because normally I have a book. I mentioned it I believe in season 2. I used to have it was like a blue dream book or something, but I started writing I started using it as a journal and I started writing songs in it. So I was like, no. So I'm getting a book and I'm gonna customize it my way and we're gonna use it for hot seat gossip and so on and so forth. But today I have to use my phone because I have such a long list. I do remember, of course, where I left off. I ain't that deep today. But last I left off, I remember discussing Cardi B's album, which is, I mean, it dropped literally a month ago and it's still fire. Like, like I cannot get over how good it is. And it's better than good. Like it's phenomenal actually. Um, so I wanted to come on and continue that because it ended up going #1. She ended up with Grammy nominations. I just found out last minute just now, so congratulations to her. Um, Mariah Carey went #4 for Here for It All. She sold like 65K units, like straight CDs, and I was like, wow. And let me tell you something. I love Mariah Carey. And shout out to Mima on TikTok with her son because her and I are in total agreement. I waited so long for her to make an album. Like, I was like, just do, like, I don't care if it was an EP. I just wanted something because I was done with the singles and I was done with you know, like, there's so much I could say, even with the whole Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, I'm happy for those that go in, but there are people that are actual songwriters. I was like, oh my God, I wanted her to sing and all this stuff. You have no idea. But the album is so good. And I actually, like, it, talking about her and Cardi, I can't really pick one song because for Cardi, I love Magnet, Bodega Baddie, um, oh my God, Killing You Hoes. I mean, I love all the records. Like, it's a brilliant album. Like, she needed time to cook and she cooked, okay? I mean, off the rip. And then Mariah, I loved every single song too. I mean, my favorite is Me, Here for It All, Confetti and Champagne, Play This Song, In Your Feelings. Like, I'm telling you, these albums are, forget it. But you're gonna see me get into a lot of tea. A lot of the tea today is gonna come half from my head and from what I can remember that I jotted down, and the rest you're gonna enjoy me going tit for tat on my phone because the list was long. I mean, the last time I filmed was actually October 1st. So, like, to take the whole month and everything, it was just pure perfection. Even to film, you guys will see. I was going for a flash dance. No, I mean, flash dance I thought of afterwards, but there was another one. I was going like the honey vibe. I was like, let me let my mind you, I'm honey blonde now. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna let my curly hair out. I'm gonna do a light beat and just rock out just like this because to coordinate outfits, it will like legit. It takes me like 5 hours. Makeup is a breeze for me because I've been doing it for so long. It's more of like changing the lip color, what's more for me, what's not for me, what's too dramatic, and depending on the time I'm filming, I don't sleep with this face on. I got to take it off. So I try to pace myself throughout the process. But this look, if you ask me, it's simple, but it's killing it. I'm comfortable. And believe me, it's probably like one of my favorite looks right now because I feel so like comfortable. But let me go to my list so I can tell you because there was so much. Oh my God, talking about everything and music wise. I'm so fucking excited that Bad Bunny is doing the Super Bowl. And to see the little bit of backlash was quite frankly, and I really don't care. It was like just I was like, what the hell? Like what is it for? I was like, there's no need for that. I was like, the guy's probably more, if not the biggest artist right now, has the like I mean, I'm telling you, it leaves me speechless. I'm like, my sisters listen to him like nonstop. Like they're huge fans. I mean, so am I. But I'm like, I'm old school, so I prefer more salsa when it comes to, you know, my homeland. I said, but there's nothing. I mean, I love reggaeton too. So I was like, listen, but right now in this time, he's the one that's doing it, and you got people saying, oh, but I don't speak Spanish. So, but you're dancing to it. I go on TikTok and I see, I see all the shorties that are not Spanish that are dancing to it, and I don't see nothing wrong with that. If you like it, you like it. You know how many songs I hear that that are not my culture that I love? You know, like people listen to dembo and they'll listen to reggae, and I'm like, but and I love reggae. People don't realize. I'm like, I even love a group that's in Africa. I'm like, so when you want to talk about versatility, you talking to the right person. But I was like, for someone to say that and then have Gloria Estefan, do the Super Bowl, and then when J Lo and Shakira did it, which was off the chain. So it was like it's so unnecessary. I'm like, I felt like well, everybody else, give him a chance, and you see. He's gonna do a really, really good job. You're gonna see just how freaking good of a job he does. And on that topic, I also remember the last time I filmed, and of course it was for the premiere. I was talking about all the movies that I was dying to see, and I was discussing Broadway because, you know, a lot of people don't know, like, my mom, who I love with my heart and soul, like, was the Broadway queen. Like, you name the movie, and if it was made into a Broadway show, I was fortunate enough to go see it. And, growing up in a house where my mom loves Barbara Streisand, Whitney Houston, um, oh my God, there's so many of them. Or just growing up seeing Singing in the Rain, so or Hairspray. So seeing all of them, it was like so. I get so excited when a musical like is like an adaptation is made into a movie or whatever. I get excited to see them because I grew up as a musical baby. So for me, it's like, oh my God, I can't wait to see like who's gonna sing, what are they gonna do? Which brings me to my point. Kiss of the Spider Woman came out. I it was October. I want to say it was the first week. I don't want to give the wrong date, but it came out, and I didn't go to see it on the weekend because I had so much to do, but I was off that, I believe it was Monday or Tuesday. So I ended up getting myself a ticket, went to go see it. Um, as truthful as I could be, I was a little saddened. I mean, I know it was a weekday, so I didn't expect it to be full, but I didn't expect everything I read with the box office and whatever because I thought the film was really good. First off, JLo sounds really good. Like, and I've been a fan of hers for a long time, but when you have a musical ear, you could tell when somebody is kind of holding it in or, needs the vocal training. Listen, we all have bad days. I'm a singer, and although people on my platform haven't heard it, it doesn't mean I don't. I'm like, listen, I'm a singer. I grew up in a house, so like we all sang. So it's like, and having a grandfather that played guitar and another grandfather that grew, they both were like were so into music. So I just always had the ear. So when I first would hear her growing up, I would always say, yeah, she's a pretty decent singer, but I was like, I just feel like she's tippy toeing, Like sometimes we don't want to give our full voice because I can say for myself, like I know I'm a really good singer, but I'm my worst enemy because I'm always judging myself. That's what keeps me, from doing certain things that I want to do, or that I should say that I'm currently doing. But, it's all a process. But to go and see it in person, first off, I think when the musical was on Broadway in New York, I think I was too young. So I don't think I would have been able to see it anyway. I did see the original movie that was is it Raul? I can't remember his name, from Adam's Family, who I love, and he sadly passed away. Um, he's in it, and another gentleman, and it was actually just it was good, but there was no music, so it was kind of for me. It was a little hard to follow if you're someone that isn't into that kind of movie. So it was a little, but it was good. It was just you could tell it was outdated. So when I went to see this one, it was so different. It wasn't like it was like actually going to see a Broadway show and being that kid that was like and it's expensive, and I remember asking my mom for years. I was like, I want to go see Lion King. It was like I think maybe I don't remember if it was my first, but I know it's definitely like one of the first five I saw. And when I finally saw it, I was like, I don't have to go out and see anything ever again. I was like, I don't have to go see any other because it's my favorite Disney movie. I grew up on it, so I couldn't wait to see it. Like on Broadway anyway. But seeing Kiss of the Spider Woman in the movie theater, like, and especially because of the fact there weren't so many people, I had a whole row to myself. There were people throughout, but like on my side, it was just me. So I was there with the chips and the popcorn and my soda, with my, I came and I think it was Crocs. Those Crocs were on the floor and I was sitting crisscross and I was in it. And I think her singing and the dancing was phenomenal. I agree with, with the directors and the other actors that participated. She was born to play the role. And I think, in my opinion, I don't think it bombs. I think it's unfortunate that because of this whole government shutdown and people are suffering with EBT and having to put food on the table for their families and whatever they're going through privately, during this terrible time, you know, it's it can be hard to go buy a ticket, just to go to sit at the movies, like, or go buy popcorn. Like, who goes to the movies and doesn't want to have popcorn? You know what I mean? But I remember going to the popcorn, to the popcorn. I remember going to the movie theater as a kid, and you know, I don't know, maybe with my grandmother, she would say, "Okay, I have $20." You'd be able to buy one big soda, a thing of popcorn, and maybe one or two candies if we could do it. And it was the best. It was like you gave us the world. And now you go to a movie theater and it's like, oh, it's $30. $30. So I'm like, I'm paying $30 for a drink, popcorn, and chips and cheese. I'm like, what? It's just it's not the same. But anyway, besides that little negative, in my opinion, the movie was great. And I recommend everyone to see it because during this time, it's just, for me personally, it's just sad to see that people have to live, or that they feel they have to live in a fearful way because people don't want to live, in my opinion, with an open heart. Um, One thing that irks me is I'm a makeup artist and I promote it myself, whether it's doing it for a reality star or a celebrity in general, or for myself for an event. I'm like, I am my own canvas. So when I'm posting videos on social media and somebody's like, oh, well, why are you doing that? I'm like, because I am a makeup artist. I'm like, that is what I went, what I got trained for outside of the other many hats I wear. I said, so if I have to show the world, my talent, which is applying it and doing what I do best outside of my show, which outside of my podcast, which I love to do. I'm like, why would you care about it? You know, and if you're not interested in what I'm saying on my show, then you can kindly, if you're following me on it, you can unfollow me. And if you have something negative to say, then, you know, just keep it to yourself. You know, in my opinion, I know like we live in a world where it's like it's easier said than done. But to me, it costs nothing to pay someone a compliment or just to be nice or just to, you know, to give a gesture of kindness because you just might have made their day better. And especially where I live, you know, like in Florida, I'm nice, you know, and I'm from New York. So people are like, oh, New York, people are rough. I'm like, oh, no, I'm a New Yorker. I'm a true New Yorker. Like when I'm in my grind or in a certain mood, yes, I could tap into it. But why would I want to be cruel to somebody, you know, just because, you know, maybe they're transgender or they're this or that. It doesn't matter what their umbrella is. They could be straight and have difference, and we can have difference of opinion, and I could still respect you, and you could still respect me. But at the end of the day, you have certain people that are just like, you know, like skivats and just gross about it, and I'm like, bro, it doesn't make you shine at all. It actually just shows pure darkness, and everyone else can feel it. Even, you know, like, not that it's happened to me, but like if I go shopping, I've seen people and the way they engage, and I'm like, was that necessary? I'm like, you just held up a whole line because you can't hold yourself together. Like, hold your tongue, pay for your groceries, and keep your stuff going. When you get in your car and you feel like screaming, scream about how the food, you know, however you are uncomfortable or whatever the case might be. But I don't think it's fair to put people in those boxes and make them feel that way because everybody deserves to have some some definition of love and whatever that definition is for them, and if that's enough for them, that should be enough for you, you know. But I know I went a little off, but you know, I went to see the movie and it brought me to tears, you know. Like it really felt like I was at a Broadway show. And if you're someone who doesn't understand the community, it doesn't matter what part of it, what letter, it doesn't matter. You can identify. And also, you can also go, as like I said, as someone who's a straight individual and see how love can be transparent in that way as well. So it was really refreshing to see. So if anyone hasn't seen it, make sure you go see it. And if you haven't heard the soundtrack, go hear it because outside of J-Lo, like Donatiu sounds great. Diego Luna sounds great. Like it's a really beautiful soundtrack. So I really recommend it. Now we're gonna take a trip to my phone. Oh, now let me tell you this. One thing I will not stop doing is getting the tea, even if I get busy and I have to put things on hold for a minute. I'm always in the loop, so I know what to say. And for a while, you know, I was talking about, you know, well, not for a while, but, you know, obviously we all got the news. And, you know, may Ozzy rest in peace. He was the fucking man. He really was. Like, I was so sad. Like, and I said it during my premiere. And my love goes out to all of them because at one point I was like, I wish he was my uncle. Like, I was binge watching all of his shows, interviewed because something about his persona resonated with me. Like it just did. And to make a long story short, you know, may he rest in peace. But they did a documentary for him, his last one, right before he passed away, which is on Paramount. It's called No Escape from Now, and it's with his whole family. It's Ozzy, it's Sharon, it's Amy, it's Kelly, and their brother Jack. You get to see. I think they show some of the kids, if I remember correctly, but it was really like I mean, like I said, everything you see is just, it was so emotional. And at the same time, it was like a triumphant story. It was the story of someone who, like I said, I mean, he was awesome. Like when I feel like I need to get pumped up, Crazy Train gets me going. I have so many other songs I can go into, but I don't want to go there. But I was always a fan. And if you guys haven't seen it, I recommend that you do because it was, I don't want to say like send off because that doesn't really sound good, but in a way, and I mean it in the most loving, polite way, it was a beautiful send off to him, for him to be able to, for them to capture his last performance, to capture him, working on his albums and talking about, the issues with his health and the love for his family and his family being there for him. It's a really beautiful thing to see. So if you have Paramount, go and see it. And if you don't have Paramount, go and get it, or you could DM me because I know some people. No, I'm just kidding. But go to Paramount and go see it. I also mentioned, and I just wanted to put this out there too as well. Make sure you guys go to Tubi because my dear friend Erica Mena, her movie Run went #1 on Tubi, so you guys can go and check it out. It was really, really good. The premiere was phenomenal. I had the privilege of getting an invitation from her. I sat second row, and we had a blast. I mean, you can go to my Instagram and you'll see all the posts. It was such a good time, and I was so proud of her. Still am. And they just dropped this weekend, which is the making of Run. So you'll get to know all the actors and actresses, and they're all beautiful. They're all beautiful. They're all great. They have great personalities, big hearts. Truly, um, they had a full house at this event. Like for their premiere, it was a full house. And I think when you're doing a movie, especially when it's independent, to see all the love in the room, it's real. It's real. And with that being said, her birthday actually was yesterday. So I just wanted to say happy birthday to her. Make sure you guys go and give her a shout out. My little Scorpio love. She's my favorite Scorpio besides my baby sister. And I'm in 3 weeks. Sad season is coming, and I cannot wait. But make sure you all go check that out because it really was a good movie and all of her stuff. And a lot of people have asked me, truthfully, over the years, and I'm like, there's a lot of people I know in the industry that we've been friends for a long time. I actually hosted for her birthday. And the first time we met, I think, was in 2012 or in 2013. And we were young, like looking at those pictures and just the journey from then till now, and, being in the same city and just, being from the same city, so on and so forth, being able to rock out here in Miami. So it's just really cool to see things come full circle. So make sure you guys go and check it out. I know I keep saying it, but make sure you do because it's really good. What else do we? Oh my God! And by the way, I forgot to mention this before. Rest in peace to one of my favorite actresses, Diane Keaton. First off, there's too many movies to list that are my favorite of hers, but one of mine was always Because I Said So. Because I have sisters, and I was like, oh my God. Like, any movie that has sisters, I could resonate with it right off the bat. Trying to think of all the other or Three Wives Club. I mean, is it the Three Wives Club? I know I think I'm saying it wrong. But the Wives Club, that movie, you don't know me. I'm not just one of your many toys. You don't know me. Let me tell you, that movie is like one of my favorites because I love Bette Midler and I absolutely adore Goldie Hawn. Okay, so when I saw it, and my sister, we have a group chat. So when I finally when I finally got to it and I saw it, I was like, what? And then one of my sisters called me immediately and was like, did you see? And I said, I cannot believe what I'm reading. I was like, you were supposed to live to be 90. Like there, and I guess it just goes to show you that there are some people that whether they're here on this earth or not here anymore, they just leave such an impact. She was that actress that I don't think anybody could do a role in any of the films that she's done. I don't think like the way that she just took these roles and made them in her own way, and it was just beautiful. And even to see the interviews, she was always giving to others and making people laugh, and it's just it broke my heart. So I'm sending love to her family, and may she rest in peace because it devastated me. It really truly devastated me. Now, my last thing, because if not, we'll be here for 38 years. But let me just tell you, I didn't know that Wife Swap was coming back. Then it's Housewives Edition. Let me just tell you, the first two episodes, amazing. At first, I think it's three, right? Because it's uh oh my god, I don't remember the no, the first one was Angie K from Salt Lake City. That was really good. That was such a funny one. Then it was Melissa Gorga, and then which was also really good. It was funny, like to see Melissa and Joe, and then to see them. It was just hilarious. And then this uh recent one was Emily from Orange County, and let me tell you, even that was freaking great. And because they all their characters, even within their own shows, which but it still fits in, and you guys have to see it. Like I'm telling you, Angie K, especially even the couples that are switching, they're going from living in a farm, living in homes where like I'm telling you, even the second episode with Melissa, there's like a part where she's in the house and the swap and the husband that she's with for the 24 hours. It's like you can leave the stuff in the dishes and everything, and she's like, "Oh my god," she's like, "My anxiety." And I couldn't help but laugh because I was like, that would so be me. I'm like, because my mom did not like did not like mess. So none of us are messy. So for me, it's like if I see it, I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, somebody give me a broom, somebody give me a bounty, somebody do something. I'm like, because this is not gonna work. So that was funny to see. And then like I said, Emily too, she was on a farm. So just go see it. It's on Peacock. I also think, if I'm not mistaken, it's on Bravo. I don't know the days and stuff. I have to find out, but I know the next day it's on Peacock because I be watching everything on the apps. I don't have time to stay up every day till 10 o'clock at night, 11 binge watching. I have to go to sleep. I need my rest. When everybody comes to me and they say, "Wow, how do you maintain yourself?" I'm like, good soap, good sleep, a good I felt the hair, a good sunscreen. After I wash my face, after I take care, I always put sunscreen before I go out. Um, and I have oils and all that stuff, you name it. But I think, but the moral of the story is I, I can't be up all freaking night, but I try to catch up on everything. I even caught up on Salt Lake City, which I mentioned the last time I mentioned it, it was only the beginning. Now that it's really getting like into it, it's on fire. Like Lisa Barlow, I don't know what's gonna happen this season, but they really got the daggers out. Um, Meredith, I do love. There's just something about her. I just love her. I just think there's something funny. Like she fits into this, into the situation, but she hasn't reacted to anything yet. Now, the last episode that just came out, I saw clips, so I'm gonna check it out. I haven't seen it yet, but Mary Cosby, who I love. She never fails to make anyone laugh, and she's so authentic. She does not care about what comes out, and I think that's what makes her a perfect fit. Angie K. In the beginning, I liked her, and then it became like one of those. I was like, but I do like her because she's like, she fits in, and she refuses to let people, like talk about her family. She's very stand up. And I like that. And, and people like, listen, if we want to fight with each other, that's cool. But once you start talking about families, now we're going to draw blood. Like, I don't need you to go there. If I don't go there, you don't go there. That's the rule. But Heather, I like, but I think I liked her more in the beginning. And I think she's just trying to get back to that. And you see it this season. There's a lot more transparency. So I enjoy that. Whitney, we're gonna hope that everything pans out well because she's had some rough seasons. This season looks like it's gonna be fun and interesting, and what am I missing? Bronwyn. Oh my God, love her. She fits right into the square. Brittany, I like, but I'm kind of overhearing about the boyfriend Desmond Edmund, whatever his name is, couldn't care less. I'm overhearing about him, and I feel like if it doesn't have anything to do with that, I don't feel like she has a good storyline, and she fights with everybody in the cast. So, like everybody's like, I'm like, I don't get it. But okay, maybe they see something that I don't. So we'll see how that pans out. But their season is freaking juicy. Orange County. Let me just tell you, I'm gonna take a swig of my vape, which I normally don't do on camera, but that's how serious this is. Okay, just wait. Gretchen Rossi hasn't been on Orange County in about 12 years. Mic drop. Was I the only one that was excited that she was coming back? I enjoyed her way more than Alexis Bellino. Not to say that I didn't like her. There were some seasons when she was on, I thought she was okay, but she can be overbearing. Like after a while, it's like, okay, but let's not talk about the past because she ain't there no more. So swipe. But having her back and having her and Tamara go at it, oh my God, it was like taking me back to the table flip days. It was like amazing to watch. The season was so good. Shannon, I think it was a good season for her. She found her footing. She wasn't keeping her mouth shut. She was cool with everybody. Katie, I'm sorry. I don't think she's being honest. I didn't think so in the beginning, and I don't think so now. I'm trying. I'm really trying. I know a lot of people on social media were like, what do you think? And I was like, honestly, I liked Tamara when she first came on as a housewife. And then after her first divorce and whatever, I don't know. People have private lives too. So I don't want to put that much on torture, that much of a torch on her. But at the same token, it's like she's gotten so like ugh after a while. Like not I don't want to say ugh, that's not the right like because I do like her. Like when she goes out, she has fun, this and that. And maybe it's true. Maybe the diagnosis. Listen, when you have a close friend, you're not in the right mind frame. That I can definitely agree with for sure with her, 100%. But I also felt like sometimes, especially when you're like in their age group, it's like let bygones be bygones. If you really want to be friends with each other, Gretchen has to stop talking about what happened with Slade, which feels like a millennial ago, like a millennium ago. And Tamara needs to let go of what happened a millennium ago. Because now, if it's like that old saying, like if you close a scar and something happens, that, you know, whatever the case may be, and then you go and you revisit it. Now you just reopen the scar. Why would you want to reopen a scar? Close it, seal it, let it heal, get over it, you know? So I'm hoping that that's what they do. And I hope that Heather is really not leaving because I really love her on there. I think, and I keep saying it, I've said it at my premiere for this current season. I've said it in the beginning when I first started. Housewives, you had some that had, and I'm not saying it to be pretentious. I'm just saying because I'm the viewer. You got some that got the money, and you got some that got the money. Okay, that when they drop it, it ain't breaking. That black card is not folded or breaking. And I just feel like she's someone you need there. Otherwise, it's like, who are you gonna put? You know? And I loved the finale, the way she defended my community. Not just for her children, but just because you could tell it genuinely touched her. And, you know, that meant more to me than anything. Because I was like, I love a supporter who supports me. Because that tells me that along the lines, if I run into you, I know that you're going to sit and have a cup of tea with me, a drink, some champs. I'll have some champs, you know? So I hope she stays. Gina, I loved this season. Like, her and I, you know, I act like I know her, but like sometimes I have a season and I'm like, oh, here we go. But her and Emily, I love them together. I think they're good in their friendship. I love that they talk everything out. And I love how direct she is. And it's not a season that is based on her relationship. That I think is even better. Um, who else? We went to Shannon. We went through Gretchen. We went to Katie. We went to Emily. Yeah, I covered all of them. And I just saw the reunion. And if you guys didn't see the reunion, go see it because it was freaking good. It was really good. I can't wait to see it. And I have so much more to even talk about that. And then lastly, because I can't just not talk about a little bit, the last housewives is what about Potomac? I mean, first off, now that I'm just thinking, I didn't even write it down, but what do you guys think about what happened with oh my god, I gotta get this girl's name. Hold on now. Hold on now. Wendy. See what I'm saying? I almost like coughed. Trying to think of the name and hell, and I'm like, what's the name? Uh, do you guys think what happened to Wendy is actually true? I don't think so. I think it was a misunderstanding. But if it is true, then it's really something where it's like, wow, you shouldn't talk about Karen or anybody in that case because, you know, that's all I'm saying on that matter. But I don't, let's hope and send our prayers out to them. But Wendy, on fire as always. Ashley Darby, I think they can make her a friend. I think maybe Andy keeps her because she likes to be like the antagonizer, you know, or maybe he kept her because he figured it would be kind of slow without Karen Huger there because I can't wait for the Grand Dame to come back. Um, but yeah, I could do without her. Giselle, I love. I love that she's straightforward and you know, and she loves to stir the pot and she still loves her peoples. And I like the new girls. They're still kind of, going through. I'm still going through the notions with them. Is it Kiana, Kiara? I don't remember. Did that one? She's good too this season. The first one she was cool, but she was a little quiet for me. This time she's got a mouthpiece. Trying to think who else did I ever mention? Oh, and oh my God, the one that I hate to say it like that, but like, come on, I wish somebody was here with me. That's why I be telling people when you have your own podcast and you don't have a producer, you have to do it yourself. It's like, oh my God. It's like, are you kidding me? Ah. Wait. I'm going to tell you the name right now. Stacy. Thank you. Jeez, it's not that now watch. Now watch. I'll go viral and they'll be like, well, look, this freaking influencer person, content creator, makeup artist is gonna go viral for saying he couldn't remember a cast member's name from Potomac, so maybe she's boring. No, I don't think Stacy's boring. I do think that there's something doesn't click, but I do like her on the show. I feel like she's authentic too. I feel like she fits in with all of them. She's giving her truth. I don't know about the first guy. I think he was a little weird. I'm gonna be honest. So maybe being back with her husband is a good thing. And again, it's to me it is actually it's a beautiful thing because they have a child together. So it's a good thing and a good representation that, you know, they're trying to make it work. So I actually hope it works for them. But Stacey, I don't want you to think that I thought anything bad. It's just that trying to remember all the castmates, sometimes I can remember them off the bat like nothing, and sometimes it's not true, it is. I almost took a piece of hair. But sometimes I'm like, come to me. I'm like, come on, hurry up. I'm trying to remember. Come on. But anyway, I wanted to thank you all so much. And I hope you all enjoy this episode. Make sure you like, subscribe. Make sure you go and follow me on Instagram. That's at Champagne DeVoe. And my podcast page, which is at Unscripted W with, which is my way of saying with, but it's Unscripted W Lulu. And just make sure you like, subscribe, listen. We're on Spotify. We are on Apple. So you can go to Apple Podcasts and you can do whatever you want. And I've heard all of your DMs. I know a lot of you miss the YouTubes. I am doing my best. I'm upgrading the lighting and everything. I am literally doing it all. So just sit tight. I'm going to have all the best content on there for you. Actually, all the episodes, if you go now to my YouTube, which is at Champagne DeVoe as well, you can find some episodes that I still have from season 1 and season 2, which are actually really good as well. Because they're truly, as I said before, I thank my audience, but I truly do. I have so many people outside of just, you know, like personal friends and family and social media. I have so many in the United States, so many outside of the country. It's so crazy to me, and like crazy in a beautiful way. It enlightens my and brightens my heart every time I see it. Um, but make sure you go on, like I said, make sure you go like, subscribe, leave a review for me, and make sure you come back next week for another episode. And I will be back with, of course, your favorite hot seat gossip. Bye.